Hi, my name's Olivia.
And I'm Camille.
And welcome back to our Beauty Society channel.
Today we're going to be doing a soft Valentine's Day look on Olivia. And I'm going to be using kind of muted tones, including mauves and pinks and stuff like that. And we're going to just jump right in and start with the Beauty Society photo shoot primer. And I'm just going to use this a little bit on the back of my hand. And I just use this with my hands, and we don't really use a brush for primers. You all know that. So I'm going to start with the T-zone, where most people get oily, and then kind of spread it out throughout the rest of the face so it's all primed. And you can even include whatever's rest on the lids so that her shadow sticks. Since we're doing a daytime look, you don't really need a primer for the eyes since it's not too dramatic, not too dark. And we're going to jump right in with the Perfect 10 foundation, and Olivia is in the color Dazzling. And
this primer makes my skin so soft.
yeah, it was super easy to put
soft.
on. It's like super smooth. So we're going to start with this on the back of my hand, and I'm going to kind of warm it up with the foundation brush.
Why do you like to warm it up?
Spreads evenly, and it's not freezing cold on your face. And I also don't like to use my fingers to apply foundation because it makes it streaky, and then I'm going to buff it out with the blender sponge. And as you can see, I got her whole face with just one pump of the foundation, so it's pretty full coverage. And then we're going to buff it out with the sponge, which is damp. Okay, now for concealer, we're going to use the Incognito concealer, and this is going to be in the color 1, shade 1. And what's really cool about this concealer, as well as the highlighter and the lip glosses, is they all have this little light, so you can press the button, and it has a little light so you can see. I think it works best with, like, if you're like going out or you're somewhere where there's dim lighting, you need like a little touch up or something, or even just to play with, to have fun with it. It gives you an idea of where you are spreading the product.
I like to use these lights in Ubers, in the back of Ubers.
There you go. That's perfect. Are you going to be Ubering anywhere on Valentine's Day?
Ubering home.
Ubering home.
Ubering home to ice cream and an early night's rest.
What? Those are your plans for Valentine's Day? Okay. So we did under the eyes, and then I like to do the T-zone a little bit with the concealer. I'm going to do a little bit more here. And all the areas where we're going to highlight and where we want to have a little bit more coverage is where I'm applying the concealer. And then we're blending this all out with that same sponge. I usually use the pointy tip for the little crevices in the nose. And then we're going to take that concealer with the sponge just over the eyes so we have like a good solid finish and a perfect canvas for the shadows. And before we do that, we're going to set using a loose powder and then the rest of the face with a pressed powder. So we're going to do the under eyes first. And some people like to use their loose powder to bake, but I just press it in with the sponge and it kind of blends it out, and then it sets the concealer perfectly without having to wipe anything away or make a big mess. And then for the rest of the face, we're going to set using a pressed powder. And this one is in the color Wow. This is just for her whole rest of her face. I don't usually use pressed powder under the eyes because I already set that with the loose powder.
What I like so much about these products is that they all smell good. So when they're being put on your face, like, you don't feel like there's like plastic.
Right. Yeah, I like it too. Especially the primer, that smells really good. Okay, this we're gonna do the brows. So I'm gonna comb through her brows with the priming gel, or the brow gel, sorry, not the priming gel. And Yeah, this is super cute, by the way. The packaging is really cute. And you can see how it just holds the brows up perfectly into the shape that you want to fill them in. And you can use this before or after. I like to use it both because it sets the hairs where I want them before I fill them in, and then it sets after I fill them in. So I'm going to be using the angled brush by Beauty Society. I'm using the brow powder in blonde, and I'm going to start with the darker color and just top off the excess. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to underline the outline of her brows. And since she has super light hair, she doesn't need too much definition, but just the right amount to allow the shadows to have something to kind of accentuate them.
So you like to put the darker color on like the end of the brows?
Yeah, I kind of do the outline with the darker color, the whole outline that I want the brow to look like. And then once we get towards the front is when we start feathering and using the lighter color, so that's not too intense for your natural brows. Okay, and then once we get to the front, we're going to start making the brush a little bit thinner and just comb those hairs up. And what I like to do is I like to take the darker color and just draw a little like few fake looking hairs there, just so the front is like comes together really naturally and it's not just a big brush of powder. And on this side, once we move towards the front, we're going to start kind of feathering it up with a lighter shadow. And that's why I like this powder gel, is because it comes with a darker and lighter shadow, so you can do that kind of technique with your brows to make them more poppin'.
Do you want to show the camera what you do with your hand to make the...
Oh yeah, kind of just like make them thinned out and take off the excess powder so it doesn't drop down into the eyes.
It's a really good idea.
And sometimes I like to even get like the brush wet a little bit so it gets super thin towards the end. And then the powder isn't going everywhere.
I need to start doing that.
Okay, so now we got the brows filled in. We're going to go back in with the Incognito concealer. And we're going to clean up the brows. So I'm just going to put a little bit of on the back of my hand and take a concealer brush. Okay, and we're going to clean up the brows just from the bottom. I don't like to do the top. It gives a little too much definition when you're trying to do like a daytime look. Especially on Valentine's Day, you want it to be like soft and a little bit sultry at the same time. Okay, and then whatever is left of that concealer, I know we already went in with the foundation on the lids, but I'm just going to take a little bit more to give myself a blank canvas, and then we're going to set that with the pressed powder, just using a small oval fluffy brush. And just kind of set the eyes for the shadows. Okay, so moving on. Now we can start with the fun part, the eyeshadow. And for her, since it's a daytime, like soft look, I'm going to go with like more pinks and mauves. And I'm going to be starting out with this pinky color. And it's very soft and it's definitely matte, so we're going to transition with that color. We don't want to start with a sparkly color or a color that's too dark for the transition color. I'm going to go on the outer part of the lid and kind of just swoop this color in. And doing like a circular motion to blend upwards, and we don't want to get too much on the lid. This is just kind of giving us an outline of where we're going to go with the shadows. And we're just defining the crease with this color. We're not doing too much crazy with it. We're not defining until we get to the darker colors, but we're still going to keep it light and just give us an outline here. And then next we're going to be darkening up the crease and defining it a little bit more with this soft taupey mauve color. And it's kind of like a plum color, but it's a lot lighter, and that's where we're going to want to define the crease a little bit more with this color. And try not to take too much onto the lid because we want to keep that free for the lighter color, which we're going to use a more fun color for Valentine's Day. And we're defining the crease here, and this color looks really pretty. And we're taking that all the way in to give her kind of an oval shape to make it more like accentuated and a little bit more flirty for Valentine's Day. And then we're going to go in and just blend everything out. And this one is not a matte color. This has a little bit more sparkle to it, and it's like a brown, purple, taupey color with like gold sparkles in it. And we're going to use that towards the outer corner, excuse me, and just blend that, give it a little bit of shimmer. Don't carry the shimmer too far in, and we're just going to keep it on the outer corner. We're going to go back in with this lighter pink color, the first one we used for the transition color, and we're going to blend out the edges with this, just to ensure nothing is too harsh or too dark before we go in with the lid color. And I'm going to go in, I think I'm going to use this one. What do you think of that one?
I love it. It's cute.
Okay. So we're going to go in with this lilac color. It's super pretty, pinky purple.
That's the kind of color that I'll buy and I'll never really know how to use until I watch videos like this. I'll kind of like swipe it over my whole eye and I just instantly take it off.
Yeah, it's a fun color, but it's hard to work with. I mean, you gotta definitely need Valentine's Day, and that's perfect for it. And it's not too crazy. It's like, it looks crazier than you think it does, but once it goes on the lid, it's super pinky and like flirty, nice and soft. It softens the look up a lot. And we're just keeping this color on the lid. We don't want to bring it any higher because then you won't have really any definition in the crease. And that's what we just worked so hard to get with the other colors. So I'm going to go back in with that same darker gold color, and this one is called Idol. Actually, has a name. Nice. Okay. So we're just going to go back in, and like I said, keep this one on the outer corner. We don't want to bring the shimmer in too much. And just blend that pink color into the outer corner with this color so they kind of go together a little bit. And now we're going to do the lower lash line. And I'm taking that angled brush, the same one, and I'm using this brown, like coffee color shadow. And I think that will kind of make the under eye pop a little bit. And then we're going to blend that out with the same taupey eyeshadow so we keep the softness and the pinky taupe colors going. So look up. And this color, we go in first with this one to define the lower lash line, and then we go in with the other one to blend it out so it doesn't look too crazy. And it still gives you that soft, sultry, like flirty look that we want. Even though your plans are to Uber home and get a good night's rest, but that's okay. No judgment there.
The best part about Valentine's Day is the day after when all the
Candy's
candy's
on
50%.
Yes, I
It's my
agree.
favorite day.
I love that day. It's better than even getting your own candy.
Yeah.
No judgment. Okay,
Getting
so
candy on a deal.
we're going back in with this plum color that we used to define the crease a while back. Oops. And we're gonna just use that with a small, like dome-shaped brush that we used for the lid, and we're gonna swoop under the lower lash line and just blend everything out. And now to darken that up, I'm using an even darker brown. This definitely looks like chocolatey coffee color. And we're using just a little smidge of this to look up, to define the lower lash line a little bit more and to smoke it out just a tiny bit. Okay. Beautiful. Now, let's see, let's go down to your face before we do mascara. So we're going to start with this contour color, and I believe this is in the color Goddess. It's very pretty. And I'm going to start with the fluffier brush to get like a more just warmed up tone to the face, and then I'm going to go in with the kabuki brush to kind of contour her face a little bit more, but nothing too crazy. We still want it to look natural along with these soft tones. And so I'm just warming up the cheeks, the forehead, everywhere that needs just a little bit of color back in it. We all want to have those cheekbones, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Taking this down the jaw and neckline to kind of define it a little bit more and make sure we don't have two different colors going on there. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to go in with the kabuki brush in the same color, not a darker color. You don't need a darker one, just the same one. Kind of just get a little bit more in the brush, and then go in where you really want to angle it and contour. And I like the kabuki brush for that because it blends at the same time as giving you more of a defined contour. Since it's so fluffy, it blends it at the same time. Now to soften that up, we're going back in with the same brush. This takes a lot of time, but just be patient. You're going to blend it all out together, making it soft, nothing too harsh, but still defined. Okay, now we're going in with our blush, and this is in the color Euphoric. It's a super pretty pink color. It kind of looks like there's a little bit of gold reflex in there. And I'm going to use that same brush I used for... Oh, these are super pigmented. Mm-hmm. Okay, same brush I used for the contour powder. And just on the little apples of the cheeks, add a little bit of blush to make you look flirty. See, I like blush on other people, but I hate blush on myself. I don't know why, but I just feel like my cheeks are already red by themselves, so I don't need to add any more.
I don't know why, but as I get older, I feel like blush is my favorite part of makeup.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks really cute on you. No one ever like talks about blush. They just talk about the contour, but like it's part of it. Okay, so we're going in with, where's my highlighter? Oh, it's right here. Okay, the Spotlight highlighter, and I don't have a color for this one. It's just this cute little light again. And this is perfect for highlighting. You get to see the glow really pop. So we're just going on right here. And what I'm going to do is apply. And then I'm going to kind of just dab it out with my finger. If you use a brush, you kind of just swipe it away. So if you use your finger, it really just like keeps it in that area where you want it. And allows it to like come through without wiping anything away or looking too crazy. And we're gonna highlight, oh that looks cute, right there and right there. And then the same method is just using our finger for this. If it was like any other consistency, I would use a brush, but since it's like a liquid, it can smear really easily, so it's best to just dab it in and it looks beautiful just the way it is. Okay, just doing some finishing cleanse with the little cheeks and the highlighter. And then we're going in the inner corner and we're going to brighten that up just a little bit. And so now I'm putting a little bit of it on the back of my hand. And you can see how like shiny it is. It's exciting. Okay, so we're going in the inner corner of the eyes right here with this. Just to bring it all together and add a little bit of shine. So now we're going in with the enormous mascara, and this one has the light in the mirror too, just like the lip glosses and the concealer and the highlighter. We're gonna coat the lashes just one time. Or maybe I'd freak out a little bit. So if this happens, like it just happened to us, we're just going to go back in with that little lilac color. We're going to cover it up just a little bit. You don't need to wipe it away. You don't need to like try and use your finger to get it out of there. Just kind of go over it and blend it back in there. Wow.
Usually I take a Q-tip and I go in there and it just ruin it all
Yeah,
and I start
it
over
kind of
again.
just takes everything away that you don't want to be taken away, including the mascara, but takes away your eyeshadow too. So look up this time. So we're just cleaning up a little. And then once we're done with that, we're going to go back in with that light coffee taupe brown. And we're going to drag that back under the lashes just to get a little bit more color through since we wiped the mascara off. Okay. Now onto lips. Since it's Valentine's Day, I wanted to go with like more of a pinky, pretty soft color, and so we're using the Lip Nirvana in the color Posh, and this is a matte color. This is like a darker pink, with like a plum tone, and then we're gonna go over that with the super fun pink sparkly color, and this is in Girl Power. So now we're going in to finish off with the lips, and we're using the color Posh, and this is a beautiful matte color. Oh, that was so cute. Okay, we're gonna go in and start with the outer bottom lip and just kind of bring everything inwards.
The light.
Yes, can't forget the light. Okay. Oh, this actually helps even if we have good lighting. It's like more precise.
I got some on my teeth.
I got your tooth, my bad. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. While that's mattifying, we're going to take this cute pink gloss. We're going to just pop it in the middle. And this isn't matte, so we'll kind of blend everything together. Beautiful.
And
there we go.
I just want to say one thing is there's a lot of matte lipsticks out on the market right now, but I think that Beauty Societies has like the best smell, the best.
They do smell really good.
Yeah, they smell so good, and
super
like
easy to apply.
Yeah, the recipe's like super smooth, and it never like gets super dry on your lips, even if you're wearing it for hours. And the transfer is minimal,
Sweet.
like drinking.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
or giving a kiss because it's
Mhm.
Valentine's Day. Okay. And
Am I
that's
done?
it for her Valentine's Day soft look. Yeah.
I look like a box of chocolates.
You look like a box of sweet pink chocolates.
Just
Cute. Okay, and that's our look for today. I hope you guys like it.
thank you so much for watching, and have a great Valentine's Day.
Bye.
I thought we were made for each other, but I guess I was wrong. 'Cause every time I get